There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me, well, I've got to beware. Think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Yeah, what's going down?
Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What's going down? What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, mostly saying hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life. It will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man comes and take you away. Stop, hey. Stop, hey. Going down, stop, down. What's that sound? Everybody, what's going down? Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody, look what's going down. What's going
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the IRONWORX. We are, wait for it. We are now at least streaming to freeworld.fm. What happens after that? Who knows? But we are live on YouTube and live on Rumble. Good morning to you. And a good morning to you, Mr. Zachary. I see you there.
Good morning.
I see we are sans Walter so far this morning, though. But he may come in yet still.
Very unusual.
Yeah, to have not heard anything is pretty unusual. Hope everything's going all right down there.
It has happened before, though.
That's true. That is true. That being said, to tentatively fill the spot, we have our good friend Ukulele Kuduma. What's up?
Good morning, everybody. Walter's Padawan here, ready for action.
How you doing, Duma?
I'm alright, thank you, guys. I'm still reeling over the news of your president there and Zelensky.
Yeah, it's making quite the international headlines, isn't it?
Oh, it's nice to see. I'll tell you what, people might not like Trump, but he's bang on entertainment value.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the comedians were saying. You know, that's like one of their big punchline jokes. He's like, you know, I just want him to come back so he can give the speeches. That guy says the craziest shit just off the top of his head. Like, he freestyles, supposedly. Like, a lot of the stuff he says.
Well, what's your guys' take on this supposed deal?
My take is that we have no clue what the fuck is going on, other than whatever show they put on for us when the cameras are on. I'd heard stories that Zelensky had met with anti-Trumper Democrats prior to this meeting, and he had already decided he was gonna, kill the deal. And I've heard that sort of the same goes for Trump, that he had already decided he was going to kill the deal before the meeting even. I don't know. I've also saw this morning that Zelensky's ready to make the deal. He's fine. He's good. He's ready to go. So who the fuck knows?
You must have seen that from BBC or something. Or was it CNN? Oh, there it is, CNN. Huh. All for minerals.
Yo.
If they want to sign this deal, for example, why not then just sign it with Russia and share the minerals? Like your neighbors anyway. There's no point in going against them and fighting. Just partner with them and share the minerals instead of giving all of them to the States. Because in the UK, which our media is closely associated with, they're already saying, Zelensky played it wrong. Some of the things that made him such a good president are the same things now that are working against him when it comes to Trump. So they're all for him signing the deal. They're clearly aligned with the US, obviously.
And I don't think they could just sign a deal with Russia. I think Russia is sort of hell-bent on occupation and domination. So it's not that Ukraine and Russia would strike a deal. It's that Russia's going to come in and take over Ukraine. So there is no more Ukraine. It's all Russia now. It's kind of hard to make a deal with somebody that doesn't want you to exist. Shout out to Palestinians.
Well, politics makes strange bedfellows, no? They could find a deal. I mean, it's in Russia's interest now to make a deal with Ukraine before the US make a deal.
I mean, politics makes strange bedfellows because politicians are fucking strange. And you can't be into politics without being a politician.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'd be more aligned to sign a thing with my neighbor than with the US.
Even if your neighbor wanted your house, your neighbor says, hey, Duma, your house is mine. I'm going to come and take you. I'm going to kill you, kick you out, kill you, hurt you, maim you, and just take your shit.
Right. And then I go to the big bad bully.
No, you should have just strike a deal. Just strike a deal. Would it be easier just to strike a deal with him?
I go to the big bad bully of the world. I almost struck a deal with them, and I go back to the person trying to steal my house, and I said, listen, I'm going to end up signing this deal if I have no choice, which means you get out of my country, but they get my minerals. How about we share the house?
How about you're the little kid between the two parents fighting? Nobody really cares about your house or your minerals. They're just really, they're staring each other in the eyes, yelling at you, fighting over you. But really their issues are with each other.
Fight, they seem like they would be such great friends, honestly.
No doubt. Strange bedfellows, remember?
I think it's all just people who manufacture military goods selling profits all over the world. They said a lot of the guns and stuff that we gave to them, they just turned around and sold. The people we can't sell them to because of, trade laws with terrorist organizations and this and that, and we can't do deals with this country or that country, but they can. We just give them a bunch of military goods, they turn around and sell them.
And is there any kickback on the states? Do they get any of those funds?
Well, I know Biden's family, Hunter, had a job at some power company over there. He knows fuck all about power companies or how to run a business at all. And it's not so much those kind of kickbacks, even though there were some, but the kickback is the U.S. taxpayers are paying for all these military weapons to be shipped all over the world and then put into the hands of our enemies. Military, the people who make the weapons don't care who buys them. They just want to sell them.
Is it still Halliburton that makes the weapons?
Yeah, they make quite a few of them. Lockheed Martin, they're selling not just guns and ammo. There's tanks and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure top 5 are still top 5 as far as military industrial complex companies go.
The world we live in.
Right.
Well, off the politics, what's new in your country besides this crap?
I don't know.
What's new? They didn't release any of the Epstein files. Shocker.
Well, they did sort of, didn't they?
They released a bunch of blacked out names.
They got a bunch of the conservative podcasters and brought them out and handed them all phase 1 of the dump after FBI went through, filtered everything, and then released some of the documents. There was that.
95% of the 200 pages were all blacked out.
Any interesting names that aren't blacked out?
John F.
No,
Kennedy?
this is all the information we had years ago. Nothing really new.
And then what? They want to go back to Texas for the JFK? They want to go back. They want to re-interview whatever witnesses might still be alive. It's like a whole fucking thing. This isn't just okay, here it is. It's, here's something, but maybe what we really ought to do is just relitigate this 60 years after the fact.
How old are these people now? Don't they have dementia? I can't remember what I had last year for breakfast this time around. How is somebody going to remember something like that?
Yeah, it was over 60 years ago. So they're going to be asking what? Children? People who were, 10 or under at the time? Maybe teenagers? No, it's ridiculous. Just release the files. Just like you said with the Epstein ones, that you didn't.
No, they must
Meet the
release
new
the
boss.
files of all the aliens, all the UFOs that they claim they have. Area 51. Yeah, release those files.
Yeah, they're going to be as transparent as they have to be for people to just keep going with the flow.
Yep. It's the bare minimum amount of transparency, just enough to catch the confidence of the American people. Then we shore everything back up and go back to lying and classifying shit.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of this guy that was on YouTube not so long ago, a couple of years ago, called Secure Team 10? Was a big UFO guy on YouTube.
I do. Once upon a time.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Hell, he may still be out there. You know how YouTube likes to do their shadow banning, algorithmic hiding of channels.
Okay.
Yeah, I put out a post the other day and barely anybody saw it. Like, I jumped on to Glowbuster's account, didn't pop up at all. Like in any of the, I even hit posts for, my subscriptions, how you can go and just hit people I've subscribed to. What have they posted lately? Wasn't in there. Cami didn't see it. Yeah, and I don't even do shit. And I'm still shadow banned.
No, this guy was a proper fraud. He shadow banned, good on him. He would show videos. There was this one particular video overlooking a city at night. And there were things in the sky. No one can really tell what they were. But then in the night, and they're like white. And they sort of buzzing around in the air and making weird movements and whatever. It could have been anything. But he says, oh, I think it's seagulls. Those are definitely seagulls. And I couldn't believe that that's what he was saying. So the next few videos he posted, whatever he said it was, everybody was just posting, it's seagulls, because that's how ridiculous the whole thing was. And then he just stopped posting, and then apparently he got kidnapped, and then he's back on YouTube, and then I don't know what happened to him now. But the guy was a fraud anyway.
So someone in chat asked, what post? It was just a written post. I wrote, we have all lost possessions, people in our lives, and beliefs. The new car will one day become old. Loved ones will move on, and ideas will come and go. The only thing others cannot take is your dignity. Be true to all, but above all, yourself. Hey, it wasn't controversial or anything.
And yet nobody saw it.
YouTube felt that shouldn't be shared out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Leave me alone, YouTube.
Okay.
Liz saw it.
Did you guys have the Friday show of ironrealmmedia?
We did not. I thought that the roundtable was going to be going a lot longer than it was. Technically, we probably could have gone live. I think they ended it at 5:30, right when we were sort of around to start. So it probably technically could have gone live and not interfered with anything they were doing. That said, after the decision was made, my Friday night was pretty well occupied. I didn't catch any of the roundtable or much of anything on a Friday night. How did that go, by the way? Anybody catch it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Good. It wasn't just bitching and complaining.
No, there was a lot of people, explaining why they still, don't believe the globe. and talking about how, yeah, the sun has always been this anomaly. We've been saying this for a long time, that yes, they, built the globe model off the sky, not off the ground. That's the only place you'll see, that illusion that you're on a ball is in the sky. Everything here on the ground, all measurements, all of any kind, tell us it's not curving. If it is, we can't measure it optically. And it's not moving. Kind of hard once you've done the test yourself and seen all this stuff. There is no going back to the globe. Going to something else, having an open mind about that, but an open mind that, no, you don't go back to the thing that you've already disproven 10 times over in multiple different ways. It wasn't bad.
Good.
They had a bunch of people on. A bunch of old timers came back. Decimal Z jumped on. Rick Hummer was on there. A bunch of the OGs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty much everybody, saying, yep, we're still here, still, this is why. Some people just saying, I don't understand what's going through some of these people's heads. There wasn't a whole lot of this person's bought and paid for or anything like that. Mark said that will start coming out here soon because he's got ideas. He's seen things. And that'll start coming out in interviews and stuff like that. But he said this wasn't the place to do that. But it was all right. Oh.
And then how was Globebusters last night?
Huh?
How was Globebusters?
Oh, it was a good one. Shane had an awesome presentation on Eratosthenes and the nonsensicalness of it all. Played one of the old Dr. Zack videos. Remember how Neil deGrasse Tyson used to always say, yeah, well, it'll work flat or curved with the two wells, but all you have to do is add another well. And then that proves a globe. Yes. Fucking retarded. So Dr. Zack had, I think, 12 different wells that he had. Yeah. And showed how his table was a sphere because of this thing he laid out on it and measured the shadows on all these little nails that were sticking up. And he showed that his perfectly flat dining room table was spherical. Using 12 different data points. Yeah. That was a pretty good one. Those guys are smart, man. Bob would have had a ball hanging out with those two. That's some brain power right there.
Yeah, it is.
So what's been going on in South Africa, Nuka?
Nothing much except for the Trump thing. There's an uproar because they want to raise their interest rates. So they've stopped. They were supposed to give a budget speech for the year, and they've postponed that because of the uproar of people saying they can't afford another interest hike. So we'll see what happens there. There's also a big hoo-ha about social grants and child grants, that kind of thing, which I completely understand why. People are tired of paying for people's kids because people were irresponsible. I'm with that. The senior citizen grants they'll probably keep, but they are looking at everything else. Also, if you're like mentally ill or something, you still get a grant, like and the disabled grant, they'll keep. But they're looking at everything else at the moment, which is good. I think it needs a new look, some new guidelines on how you grant these things to people.
Has the whole farmer situation resolved itself out there?
Farmer situation? You're talking about farm murders?
Yeah.
Well, that's like asking, what's a bad city there? It's Detroit. Is Detroit's murder, whatever thing, resolved? I mean,
it's much better. Yeah. Once Detroit got flooded and then the flood froze over, shit calmed down.
Well, look, the farm murders thing, what they don't report, which is really dumb, is that farm murders are essentially not because they want to kill white people or whatever. It's for resources. That's why people go rob houses. And it's not just white farmers. Any person that owns a farm that is...
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, it's anybody who owns a farm.
Yeah, exactly. They after the things. But because the main farmers, the majority of the farmers are whites and they're Afrikaner white males, that's what gets reported, when the truth is there's a problem with all the farms that are all out there and secluded. And it's a security issue for all the farmers.
Yeah, it's gotta suck, man.
Yeah, look, our police in every city in our country, they're shit. All of them.
Crooked as our police?
Probably way more. At least your police, some of them have cameras. You can go review some footage, They've got their body cam and shit. We don't have any of that. They run rough shots on everyone. They get to do whatever they want. They get to break the laws whenever they want. They are generally unhelpful. Like if I called the cops now and I had a problem on my property, this show will probably be finished before somebody shows up. And they are only 10 minutes away from me.
That's crazy. So, what are your laws as far as, like, can you be a news person and put out your own news without a license or anything like that?
Yeah, you can. In terms of the press, freedom of the press, you can do whatever you want. You can start your own podcast. You can say whatever you want about any politician. As long as they are a politician and a public figure, generally you can say whatever you want.
What's the propaganda like over there?
It's like every other country. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. Because we have the state-run media, which are for the ruling party because they own it. And then you have independent, private news corporations like ETV, it's called E-News or NCA News. They are supposedly private news network, but they're just bought by the other political parties that have money. So basically, the opposition, they buy them. So they report favorably towards the opposition and negatively towards the ruling party. And the state-owned media does vice versa.
Well,
So the streets don't change except for the names, huh?
Nah.
Because all roads lead to Rome.
Politicians will be politicians. They're all corrupt. They all will steal.
All right. Let's first break, gentlemen. Maybe I'll give Walter a little ring-a-ding, see if he's going to be joining us this morning. Until then, I guess we'll just take a little break. I saw Duma put a request in this morning. I still got to log into my Spotify to get some of those other requests in. Not a big Spotify user. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We will be right back right after this.
Trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong. I can write a song. I belong, you belong to me, my sweetheart. I belong, you belong to me, my sweetheart. Standing on Canal and Bowery.
this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. ironrealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to Space Lettuce from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworks with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworks. Well, definitely on YouTube. You're right, Liz. Not that anybody's going to see it, but we are over there on Rumble as well. And streaming at least to freeworld.fm, whether or not it's going out, I don't know. Still no word from Billy Ray. No word out of Jonathan. I don't know. Strange times we're living in.
Indeed. So I came across this article, and it's not making sense. Shocker, I know, but it says melting glaciers increase loss of freshwater resources. What? Doesn't that make more fresh water when glaciers melt? I mean, isn't that what most of the water that we get, like throughout the year, is glaciers melting on the top of mountains and running down the side of the mountain, and then we use it?
Definitely snow melt. I don't know if that's glacier ice up there, but definitely I think snow melt comes down from most mountains. And I'm sure there is like a glacial runoff in places. Yeah, it does seem a little counterintuitive, trying to figure out what sort of mental gymnastics I could come up with. How about the glacial runoff desalinates the oceans, raises the ocean level, and I don't fucking know. I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but it's one of those stupid ones where it's like you have to swipe over and all that kind of crap.
So it's probably bullshit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done looking into that. Washington Post, do they always charge you money?
See, well,
I know the New York Times did.
Not always. I'm sure New York Times, once upon a time, wasn't behind a paywall.
No, I mean, like, as of recently, it's always been like, you've read your allowed. They used to let you read so many or whatever free, and then they start charging you. I just had my first one, I think, pop up for the Washington Post.
Sweet. That seems like a nail in the coffin for most any news outlet when you have to start putting your online information behind a paywall, especially when you're doing bad on the ratings as it is.
Yeah.
Trying to make a bet that people give a shit enough to start paying to view your article. Pretty bold.
USAID isn't going to be giving them millions of dollars a year now, so
gotta
make that money
revenue.
somehow.
Right.
So, guys, what is your welfare system like in the States?
It's being changed as we speak.
Yeah,
and
politicians are the largest
welfare recipients that we have.
Uh-huh.
So
But
I'm talking about like
needed a
more
revamp.
child welfare. Like,
Yeah, it needed a revamp for years. Like, you didn't have to have a child to be on welfare here. There are so many single females without dependents, it was very easy to get welfare. And now they're making it to where if you're an able-bodied young person, you have to have a job to get welfare now. And people are freaking out.
What did the welfare take form in? Do you get money? Do you get
You get what we call, it's like WIC. They have different names for different states. You get like a debit card. It used to be like food stamps. You were given this book of stamps that was worth money. And like when you went to the grocery store, you could hand over those stamps instead of cash. Now it's all digital. So they give you a card. And you can't buy cigarettes. You can't buy alcohol. They used to be able to take cash out. But now they're not allowed to do any of that anymore.
I think WIC is a little bit different than the SNAP benefits. I think SNAP benefits are what you're thinking. WIC is specifically for, anti-men. WIC stands for no fathers in the household. Women, infants, and children. So women, infants, and children get like free cheese, free milk, reduced cheese, reduced price milk, and some essential items. I think there's maybe baby formula. There's a few things specifically geared for women, infants, and children that I think you qualify for. I don't even know that it is a welfare program. It might just be strictly speaking, it would be, but I think it sort of applies to all women, infants, and children. It's not a application type of thing, I don't think. I don't know. Been a couple decades since I've had to deal with any of that. And for the record, I don't think WIC excludes fathers.
so they've made it digital now where they get like a card or something.
Yeah, that's been that way for a little bit. Yeah, where it's all like debit card based.
Oh, good.
And if they go to Walmart or something like that, it'll split the payment. Like, because you can buy food and other things there, electronics and clothes and stuff like that. So if you're paying with that card, it will only pay for certain items. You can't go get a new cell phone or something like that.
Right.
And I think
they've caught so many people. Like this one lady used to go when the pop was on sale. She would go and buy like 15 cases of pop, go out to the parking lot, dump all the pop out in the parking lot at the store right there, and then take the cans in and get 10 cents a can so she could get $15 in cash. So she spent like $60 of government assisted, that's for food and stuff like that. And she'd turn around and dump it out and then exchange the cans so she could get $15 in cash to buy her cigarettes and the alcohol for the day.
That's bad.
Sounds bad.
There's a lot of people that do that kind of stuff.
But I don't know that you could spend $60 on any sized can of aluminum that's going to
cases of pop.
That's fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna say the amount of money you would need. You'd almost have to spend your entire month's worth of food stamps just on things with aluminum. The cheapest aluminum products you can find just to dump out. And even then, I can't believe it's going to get you another $15 every month worth of aluminum. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
150 cans. No, because there's states that do the $10 deposit or 10-cent deposit.
Oh, I guess that's true. There is.
Yeah, that's how she was. No, not by recycling aluminum. That's ridiculous. No, that wouldn't work. But it's in those states. I forget which ones they are. I know Michigan used to be one. Whenever we went camping up in Michigan, we would always turn over our glass bottles or our cans and get a little bit of change back. It was like 10 cents for each can you turn back in. They'd give you 10 cents. And yeah, it was one of those recycling things at their local Walmart or something like that. Crazy. Just ridiculous. And she couldn't understand why she was getting arrested. And then they took her food stamps away. She couldn't understand why. That was wrong.
So who qualifies for something like that? You're a mother, you have, say, 2 kids.
But like I
in
said,
the house.
easier, you just kind of apply and a lot of people would just get it. But now they're saying if you're an able young adult, you know, you have all your fingers and toes, you know, then if you're not working at all or not looking for a job, then you don't get these benefits anymore. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are losing it.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Andrew B.
What up,
What's
Andrew?
going
So
on?
I'm gonna, in just a little bit, after I make this little statement, which I'm not proud to say I did, but anyways, can I use you guys as guinea pigs for a little bit and for some trivia, just to see if some of these are way too hard or way too easy?
Yeah. Shout out to Martin Lika in chat. What are you still doing up over there, man?
No kidding. What up, Martin? Oi, oi.
So in regards to the food stamp EBT situation, one of the guys I was working with, I didn't believe him at first because he said, oh yeah, I just went into the Social Security office, told him I was homeless, didn't have a job, living in my car, but he could receive mail at a certain address. And at that point, it's very difficult for them to prove otherwise. And he was working with me. And anyways, I was like, no, I can't be real. So I went and tried it out. And sure enough, I told them the exact same thing. And I had free EBT for, I think it was 1 year. But what I did with that money, it was only like, it was like $200 a month or something. It's nothing extreme. But what I did with that is I would buy it and I would just go over to homeless shelters and different people that are like, oh yeah, can I borrow some change or have some change? I was like, no, but here's here's some canned food for you. So I was just giving it. I was just giving it away.
See, I'm all about giving these people food or water or clothes. I'm not a big fan of just handing out money because a lot of the times it just goes, to drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and what
I've done it before quite a few times. When a grown man comes up and asks me for money because they need help, usually if they're older, I always give it to them. I don't know. I just always think about how hard it is for me to ask people for stuff like that. So I put myself in their shoes, and it's like, yeah, if you're that hard up to you have to go up to another person and ask them if you can borrow a couple dollars. And it's not like I need gas or this or that. If they're not trying to sell me a story, then I try to help them out.
Yeah, there's a certain limitation to it because certain places, like here in San Jose, the homeless population is actually decreasing. I'm not sure where they're all going, but they've been enforcing that a lot more strictly, along with businesses. No loitering, no panhandling, that kind of thing. But my coworker, what he was doing with the money is actually using it for himself, and he would have other people. They're like, oh yeah, I don't have any food right now, but I have some cash. So what he would do is he would get like the $200 and he'd be like, all right, cool, I'll buy you $50 of groceries if you give me $25 in cash. So it's like a 50% off for those people, which is still partially immoral. But he was also helping people out at the same time, but he was also scamming the system.
Yeah, it shows you how easy it is to scam the system. You just go in there and tell them a story. They don't even double check it. I mean, we're in 2025. How hard is it to punch someone's name into a computer? They're the government. They have all of our information. If you're working at a job and filled out you know, your W-2 or whatever, then they know that you're working. It's in the computer system, but they just don't check.
Oh, well, the other thing I could do too is just give them my name and my previous address I lived at, and they say, "What's your social security number?" I don't know. Do you have a driver's license? No, I don't have one. I'm homeless. I need food, or I need EBT benefits. Yeah, and it was that easy. It took literally 3 days.
Wow.
And I just gave them my parents' address because I wasn't going to give them my address because that would have been pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, if you're going to do it...
There's a lot of people that game the system here in this country, Nuka, for sure. And that's what they're allegedly trying to put a kibosh on. Which even hardcore liberals, even my mom, can't argue with this. I talked to her the other day. And she's like, oh yeah, this definitely needed to be done. She's like, I hate that it's him doing it, because I can't stand that man, and blah, 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 blah. But she's like, no, this should have been done a long time ago. It's not just us crazy conspiracy theorists who've been calling for, you know, calling the government bloated and for decades now. There's a lot of people that feel that way.
Yeah, it's fraud, waste, and abuse. And I will grant it that some people, or like some single mothers as an example, she might be working full-time or maybe even 2 jobs. And then what she has to do is spend the rest of her money on like daycare and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. Help her out for about a year until she gets back on her feet. But every single child that they have, it goes up by about $150 per child. So it starts off at like 200 and then just goes up from there.
This one chick had 4 kids. I'm not sure what state she was in, but she was getting $2,000 a month.
That's a lot of kids. Yeah.
I think she said she had 4 kids, maybe 5 kids. But they cut off her food stamp.
But I mean, people game the system everywhere. We have some of the things happening here as well. But yeah, I just wanted to know what it was like that side. Like $200 is a lot of money.
Is it hard to get on government subsidies over there?
No, not really. As long as you have the birth certificate of the kid, you can sign up for it. But you won't get a lot of money out of it. It's not a lot of money at all. But it's enough for people to use the card that you get. It works like a bank card. You can go buy alcohol with it or cigarettes or whatever you want.
I remember when I was little, after my dad split, my mom was having a rough time, and I think it was like 6 months that she was getting the food stamp things. And I just remember being able to go to the grocery store and just pick out whatever I wanted that time. Because, I mean, we were on like a shoestring budget, you know. We had enough to eat, and there wasn't a whole lot extra. And then, yeah, she ended up getting a raise, and then they took her off the food stamps and all that kind of stuff. But I just remember it is nice when you don't have, and or however much we were getting back then. It was 40 years ago almost. Yeah, it is a nice thing to get, to be able to feed your family and not worry about not eating. Like, there was times my mom didn't eat dinner, and we ate dinner. You know, it got rough.
See, what's different here is you can even be rich here. You can still get the benefits.
Yeah, that's
the social grant. You can be a millionaire as long as you sign up your kid with his or her birth certificate. You'll still get the card. You'll still get the monthly income from it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I guess it is, but I also understood the reasoning. Because then, people were saying, well, then it's unfair. How come the government gets to pay for your kids and not mine? I actually pay tax to the government. If they're going to look after anybody's kid, they should look after mine. So I should be able to apply.
But it's there for people who don't have, you know?
Yeah,
Not
but
for
also
those that
people are
do have.
irresponsible. See, that's where I draw the line. People are irresponsible. I am 34 years old. I don't have children because I can't afford children. Technically, I can afford them, but I can't afford to give them the lifestyle that I would like my children to have. So I do not have children. So why does some skank down the road get to open her legs for any Tom, Dick, and Harry, pop out a few kids, and now my tax has to go to her? When I don't have enough money to look after my own kids, and I don't have kids, yet she gets to have kids, and I must pay for it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's not really so much for her, I think, as it is the children. It's not the children's fault.
Yeah, and they being raised by that idiot.
Yeah, we got a lot of that going on here, too.
So how are those children going to turn out? We're not talking about the future president of the country here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, 30 years ago would be in a mental institution, not raising children on their own. But we don't have mental institutions here anymore. So they just walk around in public with us now, walking up to people on the street and just old ladies and hitting them in the head and beating them and walking away.
We have TV licenses in my country. You literally have to have a license to buy a brand new TV. Why can't they have licenses for you to be a mother? Surely there should be some bloody test that you can take.
You have to have a license to buy a TV.
To buy a brand new TV, yes, you need a TV license. Yes.
And what's the meaning behind that? Like, why?
See, it's based back in when we only had a few channels and the government was in charge of distributing those channels in terms of the signal. Right? So the TV license was a yearly fee that you paid for the free TV channels that you got because they distributed the signal. But now people don't use the government's channels because they shit. There's like 4 channels that they have and they all shit. Everybody has satellite TV or Netflix and whatever, but you still need the TV license to purchase a new TV. So most people actually don't pay for their TV license. Like they will call you and say you owe so much and so much because you haven't paid in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and most people just go, I'm not going to pay. I don't use your channels. I don't use your signal. I don't see why I should pay. But they said, yeah, but you own a TV, you're supposed to pay.
What about an internet license? Do you have to have one of those too?
No.
Okay, because I don't watch TV. I have the internet.
Yeah, well, they were thinking of trying to introduce one for people who have YouTube, that watch their shit on YouTube and stuff. That's insane. Most people don't pay for this. The loophole is you want. So you literally need one person in your group of friends who's paid the thing up, and then whenever you go buy a TV, you use his TV license or her TV license.
Weird.
So after this break, I'm going to use you guys as test subjects again. I'm not going to go for too long. I have to go to bed soon, but I'll talk about it after the break.
Sweet. Thanks everybody for hanging out this morning. I do love to see those gray names pop into the chat. It's always a good thing to see. And shout out to all the blue ones in there too. So like 50 people watching. It's 5 a.m. here in Missouri. Y'all are crazy.
So
don't go anywhere. This is the halfway point here on the Ironworks. We'll be right back. Hour number 2 coming up after this.
Yeah. You've got to get it right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
How dare you?
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the IRONWORX. Ideally on freeworld.fm, definitely on YouTube, probably on Rumble. Looks like everything's going out live to YouTube and Rumble at the very least. That was quite the little dance ditty. Not even sure who it was that requested. I just sort of hit random links in the chat, see what pops up.
It was quite upbeat.
It was. Makes me want to not stop moving.
You guys hear NASA employees are getting harassed out in public?
No.
There's no physical violence or anything like that, but apparently a bunch of NASA employees are complaining they're being heckled in public at coffee shops and places like that. I wonder why. I wonder why somebody that sees somebody with a NASA logo on their shirt would say something.
Right. What kind of person points and laughs at a NASA employee?
And apparently the management is ignoring them. They're saying, like, yeah, grow up.
Wait. NASA management? Or like the management of the establishments in which they are patronizing?
No, NASA management.
So like Starbucks? They're in Starbucks and somebody's hassling them, so the NASA employee that gets his feelings hurt really
goes and tells, yeah, at work. You can't
I do have some space lettuce to share after this, but I'm not going to ask a whole lot of questions because the questions, in my opinion, are pretty fair for the most part. I'm going to only ask the ones that I think are really easy, or maybe too easy, or the ones that might be really hard. And the theme of this one is going to be religion, philosophy, government, politics, and sociology. I know these are not subjects that people usually like to learn about very much, but I think it's still important.
Now, is that one category, or are those all different categories?
They're all different categories, yeah.
Good.
And I have them staggered throughout. But this will be the fourth one ever since Melodome told me he doesn't want to do trivia anymore. The trivia for charity. And I was like, okay. Anyways. So, remember, religion, philosophy, government, politics, and sociology. I've already got 4 more trivias lined up for this. So L. Ron Hubbard created Scientology. What year did he create it?
Oh, where's Walter when you need him?
I know.
I'm not looking at the chat, by the way, guys. So if you're, I will look back. Actually, maybe I can just do this smaller. Yeah.
I have no clue. I don't even know
Do you have
when
an
that guy...
easier question?
Well,
see,
It was in the 50s. I know that much.
When did he start it? When was
Yeah.
Scientology officially recognized as a religion? Like,
well,
Scientology
start
started with
Scientology?
Dianetics, as I recall.
That's a part of it, yeah.
The book Dianetics. So, like, when did that start? When did L. Ron Hubbard first come up with the idea of all this nonsense and realized that he was millions of dollars in debt to the tax man? And as a way to avoid the tax man, he thought, I need to start a religion. Like, then? Is that when we're counting Scientology when he says he needs to start a religion? When it was recognized as a religion? Or when the whole
Yeah,
thought
I
press...
guess when it was recognized.
Gotcha. Fuck, I don't know. I would say...
50s.
No, I'd say 80s. Early 80s.
All right. Well, this one... may have to adjust this one, the wording on it. But yeah, it's 1952.
Wow.
And this one might be too easy. What is the study of knowledge called?
Pass.
Or maybe it's
Study of knowledge.
Yeah, what is the study of knowledge called? It's a philosophy question.
Never took philosophy.
Oh, really? It's a pretty fun class. Way better than sociology. All right. I'm not red flagging those right now. It's epistemology. And for this one, it's a plus or minus 2. How many presidents, U.S. presidents, served in the military?
All of them.
10.
Every single one of them.
They're like on active duty and things like that.
Well, Commander-in-Chief, Andrew, every single one of them is the Commander-in-Chief. They are the head of all the armed forces.
Yeah, not really serving in the military. Most of them probably can't even fire a 22 handgun.
Aren't they the head of the military? Aren't they the supreme commander of all military armed forces in the United States?
Yeah, commander. All right. So, I'm gonna
31.
Whoa, dead correct.
Wow. That was just a shot in the dark. I had no idea. I knew there's been, 40 some odd ones. And I knew they all didn't serve. So I just took like a stab.
All right, some of these questions I have taken from previous trivias. I'm going to skip over those because a lot of people here were at those trivias and probably remember them. What branch of philosophy deals with the nature of reality?
Branch of philosophy.
What branch of philosophy?
Can we get a multiple choice? Can you give me like 4 branches? And I'll pick one.
Well, there's like epistemology, etymology, things like that, but this is different.
Where are you finding these questions?
I'm a nerd when it comes to this. I'm autodidactic, so I like to research a lot of stuff on my own. But I mean, I also listen to people doing podcasts. I'm like, well, that's a great question, so I just add it. All right, no one's going to get this, I guess. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat, everyone.
Multiple choice. Come on, multiple choice.
No, I only have one answer, because when I do this, when I've done it in the past, it's been usually like a 1v1 situation. And then, at some point I can give a multiple choice, but when I do this, there's going to be 50 to 200 people that are all participating, but they have to request to actually answer, unless it's a small room, and in which case everyone gets to participate at the same time, but the first person to answer it gets a point, and then whoever wins, I send them $50. All right, so the answer is metaphysics.
Metaphysics.
Yeah. And because a lot of the... What?
Just saying, those are a little harder questions.
Yeah. A lot of the people participating are also religious, whether Christian. I mean,
I don't think
all
that's
the different
right, Andrew.
religions.
I think
So that's
you're
why
wrong on that one.
Oh, I get it into some other stuff too. So
what was the
who
question?
first
Wait, Andrew,
pope?
go back to the last one. What was the question? What is the study of reality?
What branch of philosophy deals with the nature of reality? Metaphysics. Definition, just look it up, and that's what it is. That's where I got it from. Just looked up metaphysics. I was like, oh shoot, it works with philosophy. Cool.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's very accurate. Like maybe the
all right.
question is a little wording.
All right, maybe
I'm looking.
red flag that one.
Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. Like when you deal with abstracts like that, it's kind of hard to pinpoint and say, well, this is reality. This abstract thing is reality. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just the nature. I red flagged it. Don't worry. Thank you, Josh. Let's see. What is the term for the belief that one's own culture is superior to others? This is a sociology question.
Jingoism?
Racism?
No, it's an ism, but it's nope.
Culturalism?
Close. Okay. Nope. Okay. Just gonna move on. That one I'm a not red flag. It's ethnocentrism. Like ethnics.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah.
Ism. What song is that from?
I don't know.
And what was that question again, Andrew?
What is the term for the belief that one's own culture is superior to others?
So culture and ethnicity are the same thing?
No.
Come on, there's got to be somebody out there in chat that knows this. This ism, that ism.
So you're saying that people that are that centralize their ethnicities, yes, the ethnocentric.
Ethnocentrism. The only reason I know that is because I had to take a sociology course about 6 years ago, which I did not do very well in because I didn't care about it, but I do remember some of this stuff.
So could people of the same ethnicity have different cultures?
It could, but culturalism. Anyways, it's the definition of it. It's very close to racism.
So do I get half a point?
But racism is a little different though. It's a different definition. And let's see.
There's got to be somebody in the chat who knows those few words to that song. This ism, that ism. That's the only part I'm going to give you. I'm not going to sing it the way it's sang. But come on, folks. Old song.
I've got about 150 questions written out. I'm skipping over quite a few.
Everybody talking about fagism, sagism, hagism. This ism, that ism. All right, that's all I'm singing of it.
And I know that you guys are not like super Christian and religious and all that kind of stuff, so I'm just going to ask these either way. Which Christian reformer started the Protestant Reformation? The Protestant Church.
Oh,
that Martin Luther? Mm-hmm.
That's correct. All right. So that
Luther had some valid points.
Yeah, that's one of those I'm not really dug into a whole lot, that I'm cognitively dissonant, avoiding. Just down the road, probably less than 2 miles, there's a Orthodox Christian church. It's really crazy because it's just sitting on the side of the road, little, like nobody out here, just a little tiny little town. And then there's a small little church with a huge fucking onion spire on it. It looks really crazy. But that's that Eastern Orthodox Christian church that I've tempted to go talk to the clergy and see what's what. I don't know. I didn't know much of anything about the Eastern Orthodox Church.
I don't either, but I actually spoke with an atheist today and asked him why he's an atheist and has he ever been to church. He's like, oh yeah, I like going to church. I'm like, what? I like hanging out with people. Okay. Still atheist. So anyways, another religious question. What does the word Torah mean?
I know it's the first 5 books.
Is it law?
Oh, Josh got it. It's teaching or law, like the law of teaching or I don't know. I don't speak Yiddish or Hebrew. I think it's Hebrew.
Torah.
Right. This one might be too easy. I don't know. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the end of the world?
Is it Valhalla? No, that's heaven.
That Ragnarok?
Yeah, Josh would be kicking ass. He is.
Isn't Ragnarok? Oh, I thought you meant like the edge of the earth, like the end of the earth. But I get it. Yeah, the end, the destruction of. Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah, I've been waiting to ask that question for a long time.
A lot of people in chat got that one. Nice.
All right, I'm not going to ask too many other ones. What is the name of the Jewish New Year?
It's not Yom Kippur. It's not.
I'm right there
Yom
with you.
Kippur is actually the answer to one of the other ones I didn't ask yet.
It's right there. I'm like,
Shavuot?
No. Here, I'll just give you the first word. It's Rosh
Hashanah.
Hashanah.
There you go.
I knew that. If you'd have given me the R, I would have gotten it with R. Rosh Hashanah.
What is the theological study of the end times called?
Eschatology.
Say it again.
Eschatology.
Damn, Josh, you're kicking ass. All right, so this one has to have a little more clarification, but it's pretty simple if you need more of that. What are the names of verses in the Quran called?
I am not sure.
Sort of like, there's verses in the Bible, that's what they call them. But in the Quran, they don't call it that. Same concept, but they don't call it. So 3-letter word, starts with an A.
It's not coming to me. Should.
Can I call a friend?
All right. It's Aya. A-Y-A. Okay, so I did have to highlight a couple of these. I'm going to put more religious questions in there upon request from the people that are going to be participating. But all right, that's all I had for now.
Josh Kelly wins that one.
So the second definition, I just happened to glance up. Because I still have the metaphysics definition, because I knew it didn't sound right. So the first one is the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. The second definition is an abstract theory with no basis in reality.
Yeah, that's why I was a little little taken aback when I was writing that, so I'm going to flag that one. All right, I'm going to show you guys something directly off of space.com. Again, this is wherever I ever want to get a good laugh in. Okay, so go back to the top. Yeah, Earth shines over the moon in amazing first photos from a private Blue Ghost lander. We're all in that picture. And for some reason, that picture isn't landing. But then you start to scroll down, you read through all this stuff, and then what happens is you get down to a bunch of these morons that are clapping about something that probably never, ever happened. But then it gets a lot worse. Here's the photo. Here's a photo. See anything weird about this?
Is that supposed to be the moon?
It's supposed to be Earth.
I think it's supposed to be Earth shine, isn't it?
No, it says, okay, so it
looks like a picture of the ground. Of the
Firefly Aerospace broadcast this image from the surface of the moon. It is the first image acquired by the Blue Ghost lunar lander, which looks almost identical to the nonsense one that back in the, or I guess, I don't know if it's the moon or the Earth, doesn't really matter. You don't see that. They're smoking a blunt. The entire, look at that. Right here. They even did like the little image with the smoke and stuff. And they say, yeah.
What am I looking at here?
So
that's the moon.
Zoom in.
So I think that's
Is that the moon or the Earth? What's going on here?
I think that's the moon. Well, you have to blow out your picture, right, to pick up all the light. So it's the. It looks like the lunar surface, and then what's?
Okay, look right in the middle of this cigar blunt cigarette thing, and you can see there's a doorway right here with someone about to walk through it. Yeah, this is what they're showing people. Space lettuce. That's all I have for now. This is fucking stupid beyond. Like, but a lot of people aren't going to catch that right away. I mean, I caught it pretty quickly, but there you go. Thank you, space.com and Firefly Blue Ghost lunar lander. By the way, if you want to see what that looks like, the Blue Ghost lunar lander, here, I'll just go back to it. Yeah, look at that.
Where did this come out of? Who sent this up there? I know it's private, but like,
I never heard about it until today.
Firefly Aerospace. See, that's them up in the corner.
I heard they were having issues. That was like the first article I ever saw about it, was something had gone wrong or something like that.
What's a soft land? Like, is that just a good touchdown versus a hard land, which is just kind of a, well, we're here.
They had balloons.
So this private company was able to do it before us. We've been trying to do this for decades now, right? Getting back to the moon. In 2000, George Bush Jr., George W., said that by 2012 we're going to have bases on the moon.
Right.
Yeah. And a private company nobody's ever heard of land a lunar lander on the moon? Nobody's in it though. But still, they landed a lunar lander, something we can't do.
Well, China did, didn't they? Didn't India claim to have landed a lunar lander on the moon?
I think they're putting rovers up there.
Wasn't that even better? A rover just lands on the moon and then is ambulatory. It gets to move around. Whereas a lander just lands.
This one's supposed to be able to take back off and, send people home.
I thought we were bringing home samples of lunar regolith on the regular. Regular regolith.
You could always just go ask Buzz. I'm sure he's got some rocks he'll sell you.
I'm sure. Or he picks him up in the parking lot. He's willing to sell you.
some quarters from 1985.
All right, that's it. That's the third and final break. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. For those of you that are still here, those of you that have just joined, we do appreciate your presence. And don't go anywhere because we've got one more segment of the Ironworks coming up right after this.
You and me, we agree on what we need. We feel, we see, we live to be free. But the rain still comes washing out the sun. Let the confusion wonder where it started from another time and space. Another worried face lights up the place. When your legs are feeling heavy and now you're breaking slow. Everything is moving fast and you've lost your flow. Steady living in the past cause it's all you know. The kind of loving that you crave when you feel alone. To change your path to a brand new great unknown. Another future is welcoming you home. And now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your mind untangle. Yeah. And now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your life unfold. Yeah. And now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your mind untangle. Yeah. And now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your life unfold. I'll see the path in front of me. I try to believe that my dreams were meant to be. And then the sound came down like it knocked the town. People dancing round. When the love was found, it was a golden wave washing out the pain, same by yesterday. When you're late, feeling heavy, and now you're breaking slow. Everything is moving fast and you've lost your flow. You steady living in the past cause it's all you know. The kind of loving that you crave when you feel alone. Change your path to a brand new great unknown. Another future is welcoming you home. Now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your mind untangle. Yeah. And now breathe and let go. Relax and go slow. Let your life unfold. And now breathe and let go. Yeah. And now breathe and let go. And now breathe and let go. Yeah. Now breathe and let go.
This is Michael Tyson. You probably know me better as Iron Mike, but I don't go by Iron Mike no more because I used to be a monster. I'm a different person now. I'm all about happiness. But what is happiness? I'll tell you what happiness is. Every time I listen to my favorite show, Iron Realm Media, It's a truther show on YouTube.
Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ironrealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back. Fourth and final segment, kicking off right now. Still no word from Walter.
Hopefully he's getting some well-needed rest then.
Yeah, I hope so.
When last did you speak?
He put something in there yesterday, I saw. He dropped an article in our show prep chat, which we're going to have to do something. Skype's going away.
I just saw that.
Yeah.
In this chat here. That's knuck and futz. I had to go and Google it just to verify.
Yeah, they're turning into more of like a Zoom type thing, I've heard.
Well, I know Teams has been a thing for a while. I know the wife uses Teams at work. And I guess that's what, because Microsoft uses Skype, controls Skype, runs Skype, creates Skype, or at least controls Skype. And I guess they're going to do away with Skype. Apparently more people are using Teams than are using Skype. Which Teams was one of the suggestions I had made when we were getting away from Zoom. Because I didn't want to keep paying for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Seems like they're going to have to do something about their audio codecs if they want to match Skype.
Yeah.
So one thing about Skype, it's got decent audio, and that's listening and watching people on YouTube. I'm sure it's not all microphone issues. I think a lot of it's the conferencing software. Skype's just been around for effing ever.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard... Where is this? Human in Motion Robotics. Canadian company.
Don't think so.
They've been working on a exoskeleton for the market.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, of course, it has great military applications, right? But this could just benefit people. I mean, think of all the overweight people in this country that could use some exercise but have trouble standing on their own. This could be a way where you can get exercise, you know, and this thing will help you walk. It'll just help you walk to where you barely have to do anything at some times. You could probably, you know, control it to where you turn it down a little bit and it's not going to help you as much. But I think this could be a great thing for getting people back into shape. They're using it for, you know, people with spinal cord injuries right now, stuff like that, that can't walk. And this is allowing them to walk again.
I was watching,
and I did.
Sorry, Sean Ryan a couple weeks ago, and I guess he had a guest on one of these multimillionaire tech bros. And he was telling the story how just that week, I think maybe even the day before, he had run a mile in under 7 minutes with the use of These like exoskeleton legs.
Yeah, I was watching that one.
It just kind of blew my mind. Trying to imagine what that would be like. Having to use just a fraction of that power to run and just to be able to book it. But he did make a good point. Is anything that's using that much power to help you and assist you, one little malfunction, it's going to snap your leg. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you've hyperextended it backwards, so you're licking your own toes, and your knee just snaps. Oops.
Yeah, they definitely would have to have some kind of thing to where it can't bend that way, you know?
We'll work that out in Mark 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't be trying Mark 1, though. That's for other people to try. I'm not seeing anything that says like it's going to be connected to their heads either. I'm going through it. Torque sensors, stuff like that. But I'm not seeing anything that's saying, you know, because that's what I saw in that one military one. They're talking about eventually having it hooked into a like a brain chip to where you don't even have to move your body. You just think it, and the exoskeleton will do it. I don't know about all that now. I don't.
Well, did you finish that interview? Because I think he gets into it a little bit, and the way that they intercept the signal from the brain to the muscles. When you do, just lift your arm, right? If you just raise your left arm, you think I want to raise my left arm, and you raise your left arm. I mean, you can do it real fucking quick. I can do it all goddamn day long, but there's still a delay from the thought to the action, delay. And they just intercept it. They just intercept that signal. So now the machine can move before your arm does, because it's getting the signal before your arm does. How fucking insane is that?
That's insane. Yeah, I don't want anything hooked up to my brain like that.
Right.
You just have a thought. Hey, I'm going to kill this person. One of those crazy, you know, thoughts you get from the shadow people or whatever. What, is it going to just do that then? The exoskeleton just going to reach out and snap the guy's neck standing next to me because that thought was put into my head? I don't want that to happen. Yeah, it's like, it's cool that it can do that, but do you want it to react to every thought that you have?
Well, it's not that it's necessarily automatically reacting to the thought, right? Because I can think raise my left arm and not raise it. But as soon as I send the signal from my brain to my arm to raise it, in that delay, in that microsecond delay, is when they will intercept it, and then the machine will already have started to raise my arm before I raise it. That just boggles my mind.
I know one thing, there ain't going to be no Wi-Fi on mine. Ain't going to be nobody be able to start controlling it while I'm in it.
No RFID ingoing, outgoing signals?
Yeah, none of that shit, because, yeah, that'd be a nightmare. Someone take over and start controlling what you can and can't do, where you're going to go, and how you're going to move.
The air-gapped exoskeleton?
Yeah, very interesting times right now with all this new tech coming out.
What if you want to jet off?
Really,
you can do it at record speed.
No, but you can't be using a vice grip on your privates.
Well, I suppose you can. You just don't got to squeeze all the way.
Yeah, but how will it know how to be delicate and gentle?
Oh, okay. Somebody hacks into it, just rip it off. Oh, God.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm scared of, yeah. I know it will feel like somebody else is doing it because it's not really your arm, but yeah, I don't know how gentle a robot arm would be.
Well, you just got to get different attachments for it, don't you know? Right? This was one this is an attachment that I use that I can see in the dark. And this is my fleshlight.
Liz, so that descended quick.
Sorry, Liz.
Leave it to the men. What an interesting invention. Can we fuck it?
So DARPA is requesting plans for a large biomechanical space structures. Large, self-assembled, mechanically stable biological growths in space. So they've been fun development of sci-fi sounding ideas like flying aircraft carriers. Yes, that's not just in the movies. That is a DARPA idea. Or massive streetlights on the moon. They're now seeking public input on their plans to construct massive biomechanical space structures. Okay, what is a biomechanical space structure?
I can't get past streetlights on the moon. Like, my neighbor's got a big dusk to dawn light across the street. Comes on at dusk, goes off at dawn.
Mm-hmm. I had one of those when I was out in the country. It was like $7 a month to have it.
Now imagine if you put a whole bunch of those along the lines, along a road, and it helped you light the road. One would be a dusk to dawn light, one would be a motherfucking street light. The difference would be the location, no? Like, isn't it baked in that it's next to a street? Aren't there streets? Don't you have to have streets for it to be a street light? Otherwise, it's just a fucking light. How you gonna put street lights on the moon? Unless you just build an entire street on the moon. Thereby, when you install lights, they will become street lights because they light a street. I don't know. Pay me no mind.
So they're talking about growing space stations. Like, their analogy they're using is to think of a tent. Like, they would take the poles of the tent and then shoot them up there with a rocket, right? But then biological growth mechanisms would be the cover of the tent. So, like a living blob of space goop, they're calling it, to encompass the necessary electronics or structural materials.
What happens when you leave astronauts up there alone too long?
Yeah. So what is it going to grow out of? Like, don't you need, like, here on Earth, yeah, we take a small seed and it turns into a tree, but it has the ground and the rain that falls from the sky to help it along its way. It's not like you take a seed and just set it on the table, you know, no water, no anything like that, and it's just going to start sprouting and turn into a tree on your table. It needs some other things. So where's it going to get its material from, is what I'm saying. This space goop. It doesn't make sense. This is what our tax dollars are going for? Oh, that's what all this is about. It's giving out these crazy ideas and saying they may never happen, though, because Doge is getting ready to plow through the Department of Defense, which could bring about mass layoffs amid other budget cuts, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we were this close to having the Jetsons, but goddamn Elon Musk and Doge.
Yep, they ruined it all for us. Okay, that's what that article is about. I thought that was just way too stupid to be anything. That was the get you line, you know. I hear large biomechanical space structures. I'm probably going to click on it just to see what nonsense they're going to say.
Did you ever see that movie Existenz?
I don't think so.
What a fucking weird ass movie. Next time you get some hallucinogenics, take a bunch of them and watch Existenz. It was pretty fucking insane. It deals with the biomechanicals.
I have been watching that show Severance.
How you like that?
I just want to know what they're doing. Like, what are the numbers being put into the little box? What is that doing? That's what.
Well, you know,
I fast forwarded probably through half of it. You know, because it's a lot of visuals where they'll have somebody sitting there for 20 seconds just staring out a window or something, thinking, you know, from different angles and stuff. It's not bad cinematography, really good cinematography, but I'm so enthralled and I want to know why. So I'm all caught up now. It took me a weekend to go through the first season and the second season. But I just want to know why. What are they doing? That's the thing that's got me. I mean, the whole Severance thing, interesting concept, and it's neat how they're doing the whole, you know, the story that they're building around it. It's a good story, but I just want to know what is going on. Like, they're talking about this is the greatest achievement of mankind, and I have no clue what they're even doing. Like, no clue. Is it all? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting show. It even grabbed Jaron's attention. Jaron and I have been watching it together.
The fact that it affects their emotions is what throws me off. Like, it'd be one thing, it just seems like they're doing arbitrary computer shit. Right. We're just looking at numbers and putting numbers into a box. But the specific numbers are all based on how it makes them feel.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing to do with what number it is, or, you know, they see 10 fours go by, and then all of a sudden this 1 4 scares them. And that's the one they have to pull out. So are they removing memories? That was my guess. Like, if you have an assassin, wouldn't it be best if the assassin never remembered assassinating the person? Plausible deniability. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on or what it's for or this or that. Yeah.
They were the ones severing their own memories? Pulling their own memories out?
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting story, though. Well done. I think that's Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before, you know?
I still think you'll like Silo as well.
The amount of control it shows. Like, for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, severing yourself, like, you go to work for this company and they have secrets that they don't want to get out. So once you go through, like, a certain set of doors, all your memories from the outside world are gone. And it's like being born in this place. And the only time that the severed people are, like, there for 8 hours a day. So they never sleep. They never. It's like a weird way to think about if you made yourself into two different people.
Uh-huh. It's like a clone almost.
One of the people is more like a slave that doesn't, you know, it's crazy. You don't even know what's happening to this other person. That's you. That you send down this elevator. You don't know what happens to that person while they're down there.
Like that idea that person says, you know what, I've had enough of this. I want out. Then you have to request from the person that's on the outside, your outie. Like, hey, can I quit? You're like, no. I'm going to tell myself, no, you can't quit. I put you here for a reason, and you're going to keep working at night. So it's a whole, like, conflict between your innie and your outie personalities, personas. Yeah, it's a really, really crazy show.
And this is kind of like what MK Ultra is all about. Now they use trauma to create this other person. It's not some medical procedure where they put a chip in your head and all of a sudden, bloop, they can switch you back and forth whenever they want. But this is like MK Ultra of the future right here. Creating an alternate personality that the person doesn't even know about. Yeah, very interesting show. I just want to know what they're doing. It's got me that intrigued. It's like, okay, so what is going on?
And another really good use of those liminal spaces when you watch it. You just the liminal space that they use is pretty good too. Yep. We only got about 4 minutes left before we got to get the F up out of here. I got to get to work.
It's going to be a little chilly around these parts for a few more days. But we're getting there.
Yeah, I guess we're going to get back down into the 30s, I think, at some point this week. But I think we're about done with the freezing and the snow and the ice and the crap. So that'll be good. About done with this salt on the roads, making my car dirty.
Yeah, it's 29 right now. Get it? And then tomorrow a low of 57. Like what? And then a low of 39 the next day. Yeah, it's bouncing around a lot. We're going to be back up in the 70s, though, by the weekend, it's looking like. Nice. There's been some wildfires happening here in the Carolinas. Are you guys hearing about any of that?
I did. North and south, I saw.
Yeah. Not too far from here, like 20 minutes up the road in Tryon, they were having fires. That's where we were before we moved to this house. The B&B we were staying at for the month was in Tryon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there were some big fires. I couldn't believe it.
We can cover 20 minutes pretty quick, the way I understand it.
It's rare around these parts because it's usually so humid, but now they have burn notices right now. Well, there's a lot of dead brush laying around from that hurricane. Just all kinds of dead brush everywhere. So yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, we didn't even cover the Oscar winners, did we?
There was one. Did they have it? Was it last night?
I think so. Last night or night, maybe this weekend. I just see shit go by my feed. I don't know.
I did see something go by my feed of somebody talking about Gene Hackman.
Oh yeah, that was really fucking weird.
Really weird. He, his wife, his dog.
One of the dogs.
There was a couple. Yeah, there was a couple of dogs that were still alive. They said on the property. I don't know if they were actually in the house or not.
I don't think so. It seemed like I heard that too.
They said there's no signs of a methane leak. And mummification was starting to take place.
Yeah, I thought they'd been in there for a couple weeks, I thought, or 10 days, some shit like that. But might have been longer. I think he was in the mud room. She was in the bathroom. Yeah, weird. No obvious signs of foul play from what I heard.
The dog was in the closet.
Oh, that's weird as shit. Oh.
And they said there were pills strewn all over. I don't know. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out this morning. We really appreciate you. Andrew B. Duma, much appreciated for filling in for Walter. Walter, much love to you. Hopefully we will see you back here on Wednesday. Because we'll see the rest of you back here on Wednesday for more of the Ironworks. Until then, be good, be well, do good, and do it well. We love you. Bye-bye.